And we're going to leave the microphone off until the press conference begins.
my mission. So thanks, folks. I am in the race for mayor. I'm delighted to be here. I look forward to bringing my experience and knowledge of the city and this administration to bear to help the city move forward. You know, I'm concerned about our economic development. We have a need to fix our commercial industrial tax base, critically important. We need the revenue and the jobs. We have infrastructure we need to look after. We have to make sure that our roof and our foundation is sound in our city. We need to make sure that we can concern ourselves about delivering efficient and effective services in our city, and we need to be mindful of making strategic investments that improve our revenue and improve our city. So I'm looking forward to the race, and we'll get it started.
The poor situation that's happened in the last 4 years?
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm in the race because I want to focus on economic development. I think it's an important key issue for our city. The commercial industrial tax base has been declining and continues to. We need to turn that around. We have infrastructure that needs to be paid attention to, and I think we're going to do that. Make sure that our foundation is sound in our city, that we don't ignore our roads and our sewers and our water, and that we make strategic investments that make our city better.
How do you feel that Bettina dropping out of the race changed things for the scope of how things are going to go?
Well, I have no doubt there'll be more people in the race. It didn't change my approach. I was going to be in the race no matter what. I have things that I want to talk about, things I want to pursue, and that's why I'm here and that's why I'm running.
Economic development, does that mean you have a plan for the West Harbour, for instance, to redevelop that area?
We'll talk about that. You know, this is the announcement for the beginning of the campaign. You know, we've got 7 months, 6 months to talk about policies and issues. We'll talk about those policies and issues as we go forward, but you know, you can expect that I've always had a focus on development and economic development and jobs in our community, and I'll continue to focus on that.
Do you have any worries about being able to differentiate yourself, find your own niche on the ballot?
Not at all. No, I've got a good track record. I'm proud of it, but it's all about the future and what are we going to do. And the campaign is all about bringing ideas forward to talk about the future.
So, Mr. Eisenberger, you're running for mayor again. You've been mayor for 4 years once. What would you say were your mistakes as mayor last time, and what lessons have you learned in reflection during the past 4 years that you've been out of office?
I've learned that I can be a little bit more patient. I was somewhat impatient for change the last time around, and I'm going to be sure that I'm more patient this time around. You know what? There's many lessons to be learned. I've reflected on my time as mayor, and I've reflected on my time out of office. I've gained some great valuable experience at the Canadian Urban Institute in terms of cities around the world and in North America. And I've always had that notion of, you know, how does that apply to the city of Hamilton? So I was never far removed from my interest and passion for making our city better, and I'll bring all of that to bear during the campaign.
So the stadium was the issue last election, the big one. How do you feel about the current status of the stadium, the construction, the location, what council decided during the last 4 years?
I'm delighted that the stadium is being built. The priority for me in terms of getting involved with Pan Am in the first place was to replace an aging stadium. That's being done. I'd agree that it is in the wrong place. But that's history. So we're finished, it's over, we move on. We now make this stadium the best it can be. We make Pan Am the event the best that it can be. I'm happy to go and use that stadium. I'm not going to be like others and say I'm going to hold a grudge. I don't. We have a stadium, it's being built, it's going to be terrific, and Pan Am's going to be fantastic.
You mentioned effective services. Can you have a comment on some of the information that's coming out over the revelations about our garbage collection?
Yeah, I mean, two things that come out of that for me. I mean, clearly, you know, you can't have folks working 5 hours when they should be working an 8-hour day. I think that's pretty clear. The bigger issue for me that comes out of this, though, is supervision and management. I think that's a critical issue. It needs to have a hard look. We need to have a really thorough review of why there isn't more direct supervision and management going on to prevent this kind of thing from happening. So I think that's a pretty clear issue that needs to be focused on, and it certainly needs to be investigated.
We've heard from a few people that there seems to be a worry that you and Brian McCaddy would split some of the same vote. Is that something that's entered into your mind at all?
No.
It's never come up, and have you discussed it with Brian at all?
We had a meeting a long time ago, and I indicated to Brian before that and at that meeting that I intended to run. Brian makes his choices, and I make mine, and we'll let the voters decide.
So is economic development the top issue for yourself? Or
No, I'm not going to rate them in terms of priority. I think there's many other issues that we might come to over the course of this campaign, but it's certainly one that I focused on before. Boosted the economic development budget so that we can actually do a better job of providing more job opportunities in our city. That's happened, in fact, and we need to keep that going.
How would you
Thank you all,
respond?
folks, very much. I'm going to leave it at that. It's going to be a long campaign. You have lots of times to ask more questions. Thanks for being here. I'll look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks a lot.
So there you have it. Former Mayor Fred Eisenberger is now registered to run for mayor. A bit of a short media scrum. He cut it short there pretty quick. And we'll see how the campaign goes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.